Hi everyone, welcome to the JungleBooster Amazon FBA launch webinar. We do this once a week. My name is Nathan. I'm your host this evening. We'll get started in just a sec. If you're watching this on the replay, junglebooster.com/replay, you can grab all of the notes from tonight's session. It is going to be a quick session tonight. We are going to jump onto a little bit of a recap of last week's session. Was your listing, lesson 5 and lesson 6. Lesson 5 this week is your doing your product launch list, getting yourself ready for launch. Next session will be the measurements and tracking for your product. So let's get into tonight's session. So customer launch lists and marketing of your product. So is it the end of the world? It was a recent announcement from Amazon on no more. Is it going to be a gold rush on incentivized reviews? So reviews are no longer, I don't know what happened then, sorry, I cut out for a second. No longer offering incentivized reviews. So it's not a gold rush on reviews anymore in Amazon. So lots of people are claiming that is the end of the world. I think it's one of the best things that they've ever done. It's just going to slow things down for launch these days. It doesn't mean the big guys can just buy their way into the market. So definitely a good thing for the little guys as well, but things are going to be a little slower than they had been. That means we need to rely on external traffic to get us our products launched, which is kind of how it always has been anyway. So we'll quickly jump on to tonight's session and look about that as well. A bit of a recap from last week's session, which is the do's and don'ts around your titles, images, listings, things like that as well. In some of the future sessions, we'll be talking about product packaging, logos, your business managing shipments to FBA, how to launch and get sales and things like that as well, or much more. So we are also covering my product launch, a little bit more on that later on as well. So my word of the year this year, 2016, is focus. It's coming more and more into fruition at the moment as well. I have been focusing on my Amazon business. It is Q4 over there. The products have been flying off the shelf for me, which is fantastic. I am pretty much going to run out before Christmas, which kind of sucks and is kind of good at the same time. I'm very happy with how things have gone this year by focusing down on one element, and I'll be growing that out. If you aren't familiar with Amazon, this is a quick intro to Amazon FBA. If you have done physical products or e-commerce or even drop shipping and things like that before, you might have seen some of these items, but basically you would find a product, you would ship it off to your warehouse from your supplier. You would have to then house that, pack, pick, and ship. You'd need to sell it to the customers. You need to find customers. You need to collect dollars. You'd get it into a smaller box, send it out to your customers as well, and then follow those customers up with tracking numbers and all that sort of stuff as well. In the fulfillment by Amazon world, Amazon does everything from here on. So you send your product on a plane over to Amazon. They will store it in their warehouses. They'll distribute it around the US or whichever continent you're on. Not on Australia yet. They are launching in Australia September next year. So watch this space. Amazon is one of the biggest stores, definitely biggest English-speaking stores in the world online. They have 300 million credit cards on file, and they are one of the best places to buy things online. They are testing everything nonstop. When an order comes through, their robots run around the warehouse, pick, pack, ship, send it out to the customers, and the customer has a problem. They lose the order. It gets lost in transit. It gets damaged in transit. It's missing something out of the box, things like that. The first line of contact is actually Amazon, and their customer service KPIs are probably better than anything you could ever hope for within your own business. So absolutely brilliant. So going where the fish are, as I said, 300 million credit cards on file, which is just mental. It is a huge store. There's something like 200 million products available on Amazon, something like 45 million just in the electronics category alone. And the searches on Amazon because it is a search engine, are buyers. If you search for stainless steel on Google, I guarantee you the first 20 results, there are 274 million of them, not going to be about a stainless steel product. They're probably going to be about the raw material itself, cleaning it and all that sort of stuff. If you go search on Amazon, you're guaranteed to find products, and they will be the best selling or best selling at the moment products using those keywords. And also, what's the end game with Amazon? So as I said, I mentioned I started my Amazon brand this year after almost a year of looking at this business model. It took me a while to jump in. The longer you wait, the the slower it is to get off the ground. So I wish I had started when I first found this business model. But it has come in leaps and bounds. If you had have told me this time last year that we'd be talking about Amazon launching FBA in around 9 months, I would have laughed you out of the room, but it's definitely happening. And as the year has progressed, it's becoming faster and faster. So Amazon will be launching their physical products business down under. So it's now is the time to be getting ourselves ready, getting our businesses set up, finding our products that are selling, and getting everything ready for that launch. There's definitely exit strategies within this to sell these Amazon businesses as well. They are being seen. I've collected this article up here on Entrepreneur Magazine about how smart money is chasing good Amazon brands at the moment because they're seen as tremendously powerful cash flow businesses for people with excess capital to purchase because they turn over revenue quite regularly, and they're a pretty trusted model because they're leveraging the back of Amazon's customer service. Oops, didn't mean to click that. Apologies. As I said, it's a very good article. So launching your business on Amazon. We're doing this 7-day startup style. So these sessions basically map to each of the 7 days in the 7-day startup. So ideation is product research. MVP is finding a supplier and getting your samples. Naming your thing is creating your seller account and getting a logo ready. Building your site. You don't need to build a site because Amazon has one already, but you need to create a listing for your product. We did that last session. This is number 5, marketing, which is keyword research and review list. It's actually more review list and not so much keyword research, but customer research. Metrics, sales, and margins will be next session, and we launch with a promotional blast in around about 2 weeks to get ourselves up and running on Amazon to sales. And it all starts with a keyword. So one of my favorite things to search on to show people just the power of Amazon is stainless steel. I'm very interested to see how the rankings go with such a nebulous search term. It basically covers everything. I like products in stainless steel. I don't like plastic and things like that. So I'm always looking around this niche anyway, but I'm always interested to find out how this first page is going. I find it a very good stalwart for how things are going in all things Amazon. Now, I actually did this search last week with a bunch of people looking at Amazon products, and lo and behold, the Cook and Home 12-piece stainless steel set is still sitting at the number 1 position for stainless steel, so they're doing really well. It's obviously organic there. You can see they're doing $191,000 a month selling these cook kits for $60. We found them on Alibaba for under $10 a set. So they're doing really well with that one. But you can see people buy lots of stuff on Amazon. This is just the top 15 results in stainless steel. You can see there's almost $1 million Australian. That's 670,000 US dollars a month just on those 15 products. As I said, there's 250 million, I think, products on Amazon. That's 15 of them there. You can imagine the scale of what we're working with here. You only need a very small piece of a very big pie to be successful in this business. So last week we talked about a product or listing or SKU. This is a simple listing. again, we're looking at one of those stainless steel products on that front page, was the Swig Savvy stainless steel vacuum sealed water bottle. We talked about the key items of interest when you're setting up your listing. Obviously, the main ranking factor for organic rank and by impact after your image is the title. The title is limited in its amount of characters you can have. It needs to make sense. It can't be spammy. You can't have things like sale, best Christmas, blah, blah, blah on there. It needs to make sense for what your product is, but you can put it in there. Some feedback we had on this actual listing itself is the words at the front are weighted more than the words at the back. So if steel vacuum insulated water bottle is what you're ranking for and selling for, you probably put that at the front and have the Swig Savvy stuff at the back. So probably people aren't probably searching for Swig Savvy, especially if you already have your brand, your seller brand as Swig Savvy anyway. You're going to show up if people type that in. So you wouldn't necessarily have to have it in your title to rank well for it. Then we looked at the review stars up the top. That's your social proof that people are actually liking this and buying this product. We talked about the Amazon identifier, unique identifier, which is called an ASIN, which is unique to every single product on Amazon, which is useful to find. It's just down in the product details. We talked a little bit about what that means, and also the bestseller rank, which is the public information that Amazon shares about pretty much how well this product is doing. So it's ranked 2,262 in sports and outdoors. Sports and outdoors are a top 100 product category, one of the top categories in Amazon. So to rank that high is actually doing really well. As I said, there's 200 million products, so it's doing really well. And as I said, you can find out sales rankings using that BSR with a tool called Jungle Scout, which looks at the category and the bestseller rank and then estimates the number of sales and revenue for each of those. Also gives you a bunch of other information as well. Very cool tool. So what is in a listing? Title, images, bullet points, and keywords. So as we said, number one for keywords is the title. 200 character limit. You have your brand, department, and name on there. Example, Nike women's run shoes, but don't repeat words. No free and you can't have competitors listed in your keywords either. And some categories actually have specific guidelines around what you can and can't have. Different character limits for different guidelines I've found as well. Images are the number one for attention. So having high quality images is absolutely paramount. Minimum of 1000 by 1000 pixels to ensure that you get hover over. Once you hover over the image on Amazon, it'll actually zoom in for you. If it's less than 1000 by 1000, that doesn't actually work. Amazon has terms of service on the first image. It needs to have a all white background, not a shade of white, not a blurry white. It needs to be 100% white. You can have these sort of action shots of people using your product as secondary images. You can have up to, I think, 7 or 9 images, depending on your category. You should definitely fill all of those with as much action shots and useful shots of your product as possible. As I said, you can't have any of those shots as your main image. You get bullet points underneath your product listing as well. There are 5 bullet points available. Absolutely recommend using all of them. Think more benefits than features. So you want to talk about what your product does and how it solves people's problems, rather than what your product does and how cool it is. How many features it has, what its little trinkets do. They're kind of useless when someone's searching for how useful it is. You can have that kind of feature list further down. So people are really interested in the finer details. They'll search down for it. You want to capture people's attention and help them solve their problem in the top half. Amazon also gives you a back end to add more keywords. So it went from 50 to fulfill 1,000 characters per line in the back. So you can have up to 5,000 characters in the back end, where you're putting, basically this is kind of like SEO tactics in the back end of Amazon, in the back of your listing. So you can add special search terms, 1 character minimum, length of 1,000 characters maximum in length. There's 5 sections for each of those. So you can put all sorts of information in there for your products. And those will help you rank for those products as well. Now, one thing to remember with this is when Amazon upped the character limit on this, they didn't actually change the indexability to 100%. So if you put 1,000 characters in each of these, you end up with 5,000 characters. Amazon aren't actually going to index all 5,000 of them as well. So what it's done is actually widen the playing field for everybody. But what that does mean for you is don't necessarily put all 5,000 characters in here and think that they're all going to rank for you. There are tools out in the market that will help you search for that as well, to do reverse listing lookups. There's the 5K checker from Manny Coates from his Helium 10 tools that will actually, you can put your listing search terms in there and it'll tell you whether your product's actually ranking for that or not. If you've got a high-end keyword that is not ranking in your listing, you might want to change some of your keywords in there as well. So is there more to this FBA thing? So absolutely. So things like inventory management, pay-per-click. Amazon has its own advertising platform built in as well. It's an extremely expensive platform. It's very powerful, but it's extremely expensive. You have to deal with things like hijackers. Now, this is becoming less and less of an issue as things like brand gating get opened up. So Amazon has started doing some brand gating at the moment. There are some reports of products being auto brand gated. If you've got yourself registered for brand registry, which we talked about in the previous session as well, Amazon's turning this on, so people can't just come along and say that they have your product as well, without actually saying that they have permission from you. So that hijacker issue is starting to become less of a problem now. It was getting very rife for some time. Pricing management is important as well, especially when you've got things like hijackers and people selling secondhand products and stuff onto you and stealing the buy box. If you're doing retail arbitrage and things like that as well, pricing management is important. You also find that the market will tell you what your product is worth, not you. So split testing your price is extremely powerful as well. I've just started increasing my price and my conversion rate has not changed. So I'm going to keep doing that until it changes. Now, I've heard stories of people increasing their price and their conversion rate goes up, which is good news on every side of the equation. So that's something I'm doing at the moment. Keyword optimization is an ongoing thing as well. Something I've stepped away from as we hit into Q4. I don't want to be playing with that too much at the moment. It's all pricing and inventory management at the moment for me. All right, so I am going to give you a little bit of an update on my product. Things have been in go slow mode. The 7-day startup certainly doesn't apply to an Amazon business. You can attempt to do those sort of things in a day, but a lot of them you'll find don't happen that fast. So we're looking at more like a 7-week startup for a fast startup in Amazon land. It could be several weeks to get yourself up and going as well. All right, so my ideation phase for my product was to get into the niche of nootropics. So yes, I'm selling a supplement product, not necessarily recommended for first-time sellers. I don't know exactly how well I'm going to go. I have done selling of this sort of stuff before, but it's definitely going to be a difficult one to play in this niche. Day 2 validation MVP, so getting us to samples. Here's a quick snippet of what I had back and forth on the Alibaba app with my supplier to try and get some samples. As I said, quality is key. You want to make sure you're getting express air door-to-door from them as well. If it doesn't say that, then it's the wrong type of shipping. You definitely don't want things like FOB and things like that. You want express air door-to-door. You want them to get it on a DHL plane or UPS plane straight over to you. as fast as possible. It does cost a little bit more, but way more reliability, and getting those samples to you fast is key to testing everything. Test, test, test. So day 3 for me was I already had my account, but I needed to get my account ungated. So supplements and food and things like that require you to get ungated, obviously for a good reason. We don't want to be buying products that we ingest or put on our skin or put inside our bodies if they're coming from unscrupulous suppliers. So those things need to be proven, and you need to jump through a few hoops, and that is called ungating on Amazon. And I am stuck in a little bit of a roundabout with these guys at the moment, trying to get ungated. So Amazon have some issues with invoices, commercial invoices that come from remittance advices and things like that that aren't proper commercial invoices. And also they have an issue with non-physical location stores. So my primary suppliers are all e-commerce only vendors, and Amazon doesn't accept e-commerce only vendors as suppliers. So I'm stuck in a little bit of a problem at the moment. I ended up finding 1 of 3 invoices and sent that in. It was torn because it came torn out of a package. It was the way that it was wrapped in there. I did my best to sticky tape it back up and make it look pretty much perfect. As you see, there's a bit of a line down here, but it's 100% legible. I sent that in and they said, this is not legible. Please provide the originals. So I'm 3rd time lucky. I know it says trice, so I apologize. It's thrice. I'm still trying my 4th round with them at the moment. I did get a auto response saying that I've tapped out my attempts with the current line and I need to escalate. So I'm now going to an expert to help me with that. So that's where I am at the moment. So once I get day 3 sorted, I'll be on to day 4, and we'll do a little bit of a catch up as well, because I've already got my launch list ready and happening. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of insight into that as well. My number 1 goal is to get each of my products 10 sales a day, $10 profit each, and scale that up to 10 products. So it's a 6-figure business. All right, quick recap. So I'm going to do a little bit of a jump over to me if I can find my mouse. There we are. Hey guys, I hope that was useful. I do want to run through a quick system that I've been working with at the moment for my launch list. So I'm going to show you guys how this all comes together in the next session, but it's pretty much a little bit of a look on how to actually build your launch list now that we have lost the ability to do paid reviews and use review services and some of those launch platforms as well. So back to old school, good old school internet marketing. We are now building a know, like, and trust list with customers on our Rolodex. So the system that I am playing around with at the moment is actually built in ClickFunnels. So I'm just going to jump over and I want to show you guys it in action. So hopefully, sorry about that, guys. I really want to show you this live so that you can see exactly how it works. So I'm going to share my screen. Now this is not actually available yet because I'm still building it and testing it. And I want to test it first before I show you guys exactly. So rapidstart.io/e-commerce is not yet available. It's still under construction because I'm testing still, but this is the e-commerce system that I'm using to grow my launch list. So it's quite simple. It is built in the back of ClickFunnels, but that allows me to scale this rapidly for multiple products. I'm also going to be scaling this out for a whole bunch of dropship products as well. So products that I don't actually do, but I'm using this at the moment for my list. So this is kind of a test, basically showing how you can do this with a t-shirt, things like Amazon merch and stuff like that, or selling other people's products. Merch is a new offering from Amazon to be able to sell physical products and t-shirts and things like that. So they're selling really well. So essentially, I grab some traffic from a something like Facebook ads, and drive them to this landing page to get an offer on the product that they want. So if this is an image of the t-shirt, let's say this t-shirt is available for limited time at 10% off or 20% off. And I land them on this page. It says they can get it through Amazon Prime, which is basically telling them that I'm going to be sending them to Amazon. So I'm warming them up there already. But this is hopefully triggering, hey, I can get this really fast. I can get it through Amazon, which I trust. And at this time of year, when people are buying pretty hardcore on Amazon, they probably already have a few things in their cart already. So they'll have no aversion to buying that off, and they can get a coupon by entering their email list. So Facebook ad here, email follow-up sequence after this, which is kind of the, the coupon's expiring. Did you know you can get something else? And did you want to see the product again? Kind of bit of a push back to the page to get them over to use the coupon, have a look on Facebook at what other people are saying, and then click over to buy it. And that is the way that I'm building my email list, my nurture list over time, is by grabbing people in either a similar product niche, and as I get closer to launch, I'll be having my own products and saying this is available pre-order only, and you can get follow-up on the day that it launches and get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% off or whatever. So that's my system that I'm using at the moment to build a launch list. So I'll be driving all sorts of traffic sources to that once I've proved that it works. The fastest, cheapest way to prove something works is to just pay, say, $50 on Facebook ads, just to see that it converts well enough. And I'm going to be testing this with some products similar in my niche that I can see that are working. I'm going to use an affiliate button on here so I can potentially self-liquidate this ad traffic as well. So if I put $1 in here for a lead, and I convert them over to get over, say, on a $50 product, I get 5 to 7% of that back. Hopefully I can pay for my ad spend and potentially even make some cash out of that as well. So really simple tool. I'm putting this together. I'm going to be sharing it with you guys as well, and I'll be doing this for my launch, but also for some dropshipping products and some affiliate marketing in that same thing. So I've started using this, and I'm already seeing it working. It's something I've been working through with a bunch of people in this in our group for the last few months. I've seen this working. I've seen it working myself now. I'm playing with it. I'm tweaking it. I'm testing it. And once I've perfected it, then I'll be scaling it quite rapidly, but I'll also be sharing it with you guys so you can do the same in your niches as well. So very excited about that. I'll jump back to our session this evening. So I hope that was useful, guys. We do have plenty to get on with in these sessions, and plenty in future sessions as well. Now I need to find where we're up to. So in our future sessions, we'll be talking about all things Amazon still. We are getting very close to launch. I'll just jump back into tonight's notes and finish off. And we'll jump over into the chat to clean up the rest. So we talked a little bit about external traffic sources tonight, Facebook pages and groups and things like that as well to find your traffic. We did talk a little bit about landing pages. So again, I'll be going over this in a bit more detail next week once I've got some stats for you. Basically, it's a very, very simple system to build out a list and marketing for your product before you launch, so that when you do launch, you get that initial sales velocity, which will show Amazon that your product is useful and good, which helps you rank on the pages. Next week, we'll cover some metrics and reporting. As I said, I'll cover off some of the metrics from this marketing as well, and some of the things you need to look out for your product. and definitely around the cash flow component of this business as well. So I've got some cool, easy to use tools you can deploy in your own business as well that'll help you measure out some of the metrics, cash flow, sales projections, and things like that for your products, so you don't run out of cash in your business and run out of product. All right, so you can subscribe here for all of these sessions. Each week we'll meet 9 p.m. Western Standard Time. These are available for replay for a few days afterwards as well. And you can jump on a call with me, junglebooster.com/coaching. If you want to jump on 15 minutes with me in my calendar, and we'll go over your product wherever it is along the life cycle and give you a hand. And each of these notes every week is available at junglebooster.com/live. All right, super quick session tonight, guys. I do need to jump off. If you weren't around for the previous session, this was my headdress. We have some little bugs crawling around in our kids' heads tonight, so I have a few other things I need to jump onto. So I do apologize for jumping off early this evening, but the chat will be on tonight. We are around all night, so if you need a hand with anything for your Amazon business, otherwise we'll be back next week with more to help you with your business metrics and driving your launch list for your customers and your first sales when you do launch. All right, guys. Hope you had fun tonight. Jump on the chat, junglebooster.com/live or junglebooster.com/coaching if you want to have a chat with me. All right, have a great week, guys.